Welcome back, everyone, to episode 11 of the Daily Dollar Podcast. I am your host, Cait McCready, and
Art Marson III here, ladies and gents.
is also here. And today we are talking about protecting your business.
Protecting your business. Who came up with that title?
I will give you the credit for that one. So what do you mean, by protect your business from Godzilla, an earthquake? What are we talking about here?
Yeah, so we're not talking about physically protecting your business or your storefront, so to speak. I mean, although you should, right, have insurance or whatever. But what we're talking about here is, when you start a business, whether it's an LLC, S Corp, whatever, doesn't even matter in this example. When you start a business, you're essentially having a baby. It's your child. Mm-hmm. So as you grow and nurture that business, every inch of that business is a reflection of, your nurturing, your building, your investment, financially, right, emotionally, energy, everything. So in the same way, like a child, it's important that you protect that from outside influences. Okay. That you protect that obviously from danger, but we said we're not talking about physical danger. But what we're talking about here is really the outside influences today. So I came up with that topic because we've had some instances this week where our business was threatened, and the word threatened is so strong.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's dramatic.
I'm using that, but it is that's the energy that you need to protect it with. It is dramatic. And it was threatened by people who did it or don't mean to threaten your business.
Correct.
Right? It's people who are already in your circle. It might be partners. It might be people you're already doing business with who, it's not their baby. It's not their responsibility to protect your business.
Right.
So that's what we want to talk about a little bit today is whose responsibility is it and why you need to be extra protective of your business.
Okay. So to put it in relatable terms, almost as protecting your person, as in protecting your own energy. Is that sort of the direction that you're going in?
So it's in that direction, but right before you get to that part, screw it, you make a hard left. So you're in the right direction, okay, but it's a whole different feel. So what I'm basically saying is I guess an example is always the best way for this teaching point.
Yeah, do you have a real life example, or are we keeping it hypothetical?
I mean, both, because it happens, it occurs often. So when you develop a business that works a certain way.
Right.
Jay-Z said a line, everybody could tell you how to do it, but they never did it. Mm-hmm. So you have that person, you have that avatar, the person who never did anything or never did, never ran your business specifically, which is a whole nother story, but just never ran a business in that industry or never had even a like-kind business to have an opinion on.
Yeah.
But then they have an opinion.
Yeah.
And as good people, which if you're listening to this, I'm assuming you're a good person because we're good people and usually good people attract good people. But as good people, you generally will listen to the opinions and the ideas of friends.
Right.
But you have to be really careful about that and protect your business from even those thoughts and energies, because at the end of the day, only you reap the benefits as well as reap the consequences of if something goes good or bad within that business. So when you allow people who don't have the same experience as you do, mm-hmm, don't have the same passion as you do, and don't have the same investment as you do into the business, then you're automatically putting yourself at risk. It's like letting someone borrow your car.
Yeah.
Right, that doesn't have a license, don't have the same car.
Yeah.
Doesn't care about the car, they didn't pay you to borrow it, right? So it's the same kind of danger, although it might be a loved one.
Right.
Although they might care about you and maybe even care about your car. They're not going to care about it as much as you, who makes the car payments, who picks the car out, who gets the car washed every week.
Yeah.
Right, so that's the best analogy that I can think of. And then the second avatar of people who just don't do what you do and think they can have an opinion. Mm-hmm. The second avatar are people who may or may not do what you do, may or may not work with you, may or may not even be a partner. And this is what kind of sparked this episode, is because I have partners who I work with and we all bring something different to the table. So even in this example, I have and I'm comfortable sharing this because it's not a shot at anyone. I would advise them to do the same.
Right.
I have a partner who is looking to get started in real estate and has invested capital and is looking to scale a company similar to ours. Mm-hmm. Right. I have another partner who has almost kind of a similar company to ours, but his is based around contracting. You know who these people are, but I'm speaking to you as right. His is based around contracting. So he has to do what's best for his company, and as a contractor and as a construction person, the other person has to do what's best as a company that may or may not want to stay smaller. He has a 9 to 5, right? His model is way different
Right.
than you and I's company, United Home Relief. We have our certain model. So when you're working alongside and with these people, all with one goal, the pathway to that goal is not always the same.
It's almost never the same in my experience.
It's actually impossible for it to be the same because your situation, like we don't have kids.
Yeah.
The way we treat income is way different than the way someone with kids would treat income.
Yeah.
Right. So, and as this episode is going, I'm like, oh, this is like actually a really dope episode because people don't think about these things. And I'll keep it to those two avatars of people who basically aren't in the game, but trying to coach it. And then the people who are in the game with you, but play a different position, but try to tell you how to play your position. Yeah, that's a good one. That'd probably be a soundbite if you want to remember 554. But no, in all seriousness, so when I sit down and have meetings with these people, you're not in a setting, or I'm not in a setting. Most times we aren't in a setting where you gotta like protect your business and it's a threat. And you're threatening my business because these are partners. These are people that I get money with. But when you're sitting at the table, everyone naturally is gonna look out for their best interests. Naturally, everyone's going to do that.
Yeah, of course.
So even you're doing that as well, but on top of that offense, right, or offense, if we're keeping in sports, on top of that offense of doing what's in your best interest, then you got to play defense and make sure other people aren't implying their best interest on your business. Yeah. And that's one of the more important things that I keep learning in business because I've been an entrepreneur for 7 years. I've made a lot of decisions based on what might be best for someone else when it's actually bad for my company. But I'm so caught up in what's best for them and us working together. And it's like, wait, this is not a two-way street. I just jumped in your car. We go in the direction you want to go. Right. Right. And or we're in my car going in the direction you want to go. Yeah. Right. And it doesn't make sense. So
I think that's super interesting. And I guess to keep the game analogy going, it may not even be necessarily bad for your companies when it comes to like X's and O's. You know what I'm saying? Like actual moving chess pieces. Yeah. If you will.
We're all over the place with the sports.
Yeah, I know, but you get what I'm saying. But more so, it's not authentic to you as a business person and the way that you conduct your business and the way that you've dreamed it for yourself, like your own fingerprint on your business. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I have a partner who we have a great relationship as friends over our house last night. But he'll say, like, there'll be an instance where we're both losing money on a situation, but in two totally different ways. And we'll talk on the phone and he'll complain to me about the money that he's losing as if I'm not losing money because he's not looking at the money that we're losing. He's just simply not looking. It doesn't make them a bad person. It doesn't make them malicious. They're not looking at my company's losing too. So even when we sit at the table, it's not like, hey, how do we make sure both of our companies, like that's not the conversation. The conversation is, hey, my company is hurting here. How can we fix that? And it's like, oh, time out. How are you coming to me? Let's focus on where my company is hurting. Right. So it doesn't always align to where the same thing is best for both companies, even as partners and even as colleagues. It's not always. Okay, I'll go back to when I said in my experience, it's actually never been the same how we've run business compared to our partners. But they have partners who don't run the business the same as them. So how do you find that middle ground or meeting point when you do partner? Because this business is all about partnering.
Well, it's this episode. So if you're listening to the episode, you already learned the secret sauce, and that's to protect your business. So what I always try to do is be A, transparent, but B, just be the ultimate communicator in saying, going into the partnership, this is how my company runs. Yeah. So that's not changing. We're not compromising how it runs. Right. If we're going to partner, your company runs the way yours runs, my company runs the way mine runs, and we're going to try to match them up nicely.
So what if there's a area of conflict?
Then that area either will A, compromise the partnership, and it's just not meant to be. You don't have to partner, right? Or B, at least it's communicated and you can find a way either around it or to eliminate it from the partnership, right? Because now the partnership doesn't have to be for example, if you and I are dating, Like, we don't have to like the same movies and music.
Right.
But what we do have to do is respect that you hate my music, so I'm not going to play the music and blast it all the time when you're around. But also, you got to let me have my alone time where I can listen to my music. But that comes from communication.
Gotcha.
I'm not going to break up with you two months into dating because I don't like your music, but I never told you I don't like your music.
Right.
That's where partnerships fall apart, and it's communication. Now, there's other reasons why partnerships fall apart, and there's other ways to keep a strong one. And again, we didn't even talk about like actual haters who are maliciously trying to get after your business, but that goes without saying.
Yeah.
But these two different avatars, I'm saying partners a lot because I want to really have an episode about the people who actually want what's best for you as a person.
Yeah, but don't know.
But don't know the functions of your business and don't know that they're compromising your well-being, the company's well-being, your livelihood,
right,
with their opinions or their way of doing business.
I think that's why companies or business people put so much emphasis on a mission statement, because that mission statement is ultimately supposed to tell you how you're getting to your goal.
Wow, that's a great point. Not only mission statement though.
Yeah.
I mean, business plan.
Yeah.
Yo, if I have 10 entrepreneur friends, I'm not even lying, 3 to 4 have a business plan.
If that.
If that. I mean, even our business plan right now that I'm
needs to be updated.
Yo, our business plan 3 years old at least, right? 2.5.
We probably need a new mission statement too.
Probably need a new mission statement. So my point is that and that's a great point. If you are a tangible person, which I actually am, I'm surprised our joint is outdated. But if you're a tangible person and you need it in writing, have it in writing in your business plan and your mission statement, so you can share that with your partner. Because your partners ain't always like, we're friends, we're in the same industry, we like each other, partner. Right? It's not always that simple.
Right.
Keep the formality of partnerships in partnerships, as well as the communication piece we just talked about. You can avoid these issues, but ultimately, whether you communicate and whether you give them documentation and all of that, you still have a duty as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, to protect your business, an ongoing protective relationship, even with partners.
Yeah. So
you got two shields up. You got to protect from enemies, but then you also got to protect from partners and other business relationships. Not in a malicious protection way, right? All protection isn't like malicious. It doesn't mean like a shield and a sword, right? Some protection is just simple communication. Yeah,
transparency and communication. And I would probably say protecting your business from enemies is way easier than protecting your business from
for sure. I'm not going to do business with you, or I'm not going to allow you to infiltrate my,
or entertain it at all.
Or I can block out your opinion or whatever. So maybe we can do a whole other episode about that.
Yeah, that was great.
Solid.
So I think that about wraps it up.
Yeah.
For the Protect Your Business episode.
Protect your business, guys. If you want to learn more about protecting your business, where can they learn more?
At United Home Relief.
Yo, this call to action. Come on, I'm throwing you the alley-oop. UnitedHomeRelief.com, guys. Real Estate Roadmap is where we have constant, hard conversations about all of this with not a whiteboard, but a flip chart and in the field experience and all this cool stuff. It's an online course, very affordable. So if you guys like this podcast, I highly recommend you go to UnitedHomeRelief.com and check it out. And for more episodes of this podcast, you can also go to UnitedHomeRelief.com, and you can subscribe to us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts for more episodes if you prefer to listen in your car or on a jog or whatever.
Absolutely. And I've already had some people request things that they might want to hear on the podcast. So feel free to shoot us a DM on Instagram or however way you want to reach out to us. I think there's a contact form on our website as well, UnitedHomeRelief.com. So our DMs are open at United Home Relief on Instagram. So yeah, that's where you'll find us.
All right, guys. Catch you on the next episode. Peace.
See ya.